So this Pisces full moon eclipse that happened on September 7th, going into it, I could feel all of the energy very strong and potent, and I felt like it was going to bring me somewhere, but I had no place of thinking it would bring me, and I had no illusion or ideas about what that would be. I thought maybe it would be more about bringing me someplace exciting, bringing me to a new destiny. But again, the cosmos never disappoint. And so when I woke up this morning, September 8th, I definitely had an awakening, and I definitely had some new thoughts. And they do bring me to a new place, but not the physical place I thought it might bring me, or the project I thought it might suddenly enlighten me with. No, this is some work. So I woke up this morning and I thought about pressure. And yesterday during the full moon eclipse, I had a terrible headache and a migraine, and I thought, oh, this is unusual. Maybe it's just the barometric pressure or geomagnetic storm, or maybe something in my life is bothering me. But I think it was all part of this awakening. Yes, so I woke up this morning thinking about pressure. I definitely have some pressure in my head. I took the last couple of weeks off to work on my spiritual business, Zenkuda, and do my podcasts and write the book that I've been trying to get out for probably a lifetime. And at the end of those weeks, nothing was done. I didn't really understand why. I thought, well, gosh, what am I doing? Am I dilly-dallying? Am I scrolling the internet aimlessly? Am I doing too much of my real estate business? What am I doing? Am I throwing obstacles in my way in order to disassociate, in order to procrastinate, for distraction? And each time I tried to delve into that, I really didn't get anywhere, and I didn't get very many answers. And this morning I realized something so simple but so profound, and that is, it's about pressure. When I took those couple of weeks off thinking I was going to bring back the podcast on September 1st, all new and bright and shiny, I put so much pressure on myself to come up with this gorgeous new promo and avant-garde and speakers and guests and all of these things. I didn't do it. It was too much pressure. There wasn't enough time. It didn't feel right. It didn't feel fun. It didn't feel good. It didn't feel love expanding in my body and my heart and my soul. It just felt like a job. And I didn't want to do that, because that's not why I started Zenkuda, and that's not my mission in life. So when I woke up this morning, I started to really think about my feelings and what this full moon brought into me, and it was all about pressure. And the way that we put pressure on ourselves, and we think it's an empowerment, and we think, oh, well, if we give ourselves a deadline, then we're really going to do something. And if we know we have to go here by a certain date or answer to someone or really have this big obligation, well, that's going to make us do it. Well, in my case, that's absolutely the opposite of what's true. Now, I've been a business person all my life and very successful at it. And sometimes I thrive on pressure. But it has to be something that really motivates me, that I love to do and really want to do and want to accomplish. When it just feels like pressure to get something done, it's a completely different ballgame. So this morning I started to wake up and think about how I put pressure on myself. And I started to evaluate all the pressures that I feel in my life. You know, the things we blame everyone else for. I don't know, everything in our lives to one point or another, no matter what stage of life we're at, from finances to schooling to family obligations to social obligations to the charities we join. We blame everyone for all this pressure we have on ourselves. It's too much. I can't do it. Oh, what do they expect of me? Well, no, guys. What I figured out this morning, took me long enough, was it's not what they expect from us. It's what we expect from ourselves. And why are we putting all this pressure on us? We have nothing to prove. The only relationship that's important is the one we have with ourselves and our higher power, our creator. And then all the rest fall into place. So if we're feeling really pressured, too pressured to actually function at full potential, which is what Zenkuda is all about. It's functioning at full potential in the desire of your soul, why you came here, what you need to do for your soul's evolution, why you came here in the first place. It's all Zen Kuda. It's all it's about. The journey of that. And so now frame that within the pressures in your life. We feel pressure when we're trying to do something inauthentic. We don't feel pressure when we're doing things that are authentic to us. It doesn't feel like pressure. But when we do things that are not authentic, it's a drudge, it's a job, it's And so today is the first day of the rest of my life as far as pressure goes. I remember being 9 years old. And this is the visual I woke up with this morning. 9 years old, sitting at a kitchen table in my parents' house, in this kitchen, trying to do 10 pages of math homework a night. I was in 4th grade and they put me in an accelerated class because my IQ tested high, which is what they did in those days. And I had all this homework to do every night. I was in this accelerated class where they were testing the abilities of how you could learn and how fast you could learn and what you could learn and what you would retain. And there was this, what they used to call back then, new math. And I didn't understand it. Still to this day, I'm not so sure I can do long division. And I remember just being in tears sometimes till 10 or 11 o'clock at night for a 9-year-old. And my aunt at the time would sit with me. She was the only one really around. My mother and father were doing whatever, working, or, my father was sleeping because he had a very early job or whatever it was. We were pretty not attended to a lot of the time. But my aunt had lived with us then, and she used to sit and try to do the homework with me. And it was excruciating. And what it did was it developed a fear of mine of going to school. And I can still remember at 10 years old, 9 years old, 4th grade, starting to hate myself, starting to feel, just because of that damn workbook from math, thinking about how inadequate I was and how small I felt and how I wasn't smart. And why did they put me in this special class for smart kids? I'm not gifted. I'm stupid. I can't do this math. I don't think anyone else in the class is up till 11 o'clock at night. It's way past my bedtime, but I'm so afraid not to do my homework that I won't go to bed until it's done. And I just don't get it. And now I'm going to walk to school in the morning and get up, and I have that pit in my stomach, and I'm walking to school, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm going to look like a fool. I'm going to get in trouble. Maybe it'll be right, but I'm not sure. And there was all this anxiety put on a 9-year-old child. And somewhere I think that was formed in my brain, because I can remember a million different scenarios like that where I let pressure be put on me that was impossible and wasn't really something that I could do, but I always rose to the occasion. And so my life very quickly, by the time I became into midlife, was built as an adult who was just doing things to do things, and doing things because you were supposed to and had to, and the only way to succumb to the pressure was just to meet it halfway or all the way and make the goal, and then the pressure would be off for a little while. And today, I have a completely different outlook on that. Now, as I said, I was a really successful business person. I still am. And you would think, to this day, I hate numbers. I hate looking at a page of numbers. I don't like it. It immediately intimidates me. And yet, I love business statistics. And my whole foundation of my business and much of my success is based on statistics. I love numbers when they have meaning to me, and when they mean something and there's something to aspire to, and market shares and growth and things like that. I'm in love with that. I love to build. But looking at all those numbers, algebra and long division and all those things on a page, not so much. Bring me back to my real estate statistics and my business growth and the company I work for. And when I put all this together in a neat little package, what the full moon in Pisces has taught me, September 7th, September 8th, 2025, is about pressure. And that pressure cooker that we all live in, and maybe it's time for us to all take a step back and reevaluate it. As our world starts to go through the ending of the cross of planning and into the cross of the Phoenix, and we see that now the grind, the responding to pressure, the welcoming pressure into our lives as some kind of a savior that's going to make us perform better, those days are over. Now it's wake up, take a deep breath, feel good in your skin, feel good in your body, tap your chest a little bit. Where's the emotion? What are you feeling today? Where's your soul? Ooh, there it is. I feel it and I want to do this. And when I do this, I don't feel any pressure. I feel really good. And I'm going to do more of that. And for me, that's my writing. It's these videos. It's being on the Soul Space podcast when there's no pressure and I can really just be who I am. And maybe that means I don't do a weekly show, or maybe it does. Maybe it means I do a monthly show or a bi-weekly, or I have more guests, or whatever it is. But I'm going to be reevaluating that to fit in with my own authenticity so I don't feel pressured. Because what happens when I feel pressured, and I kind of suspect when everyone feels pressured, is we get disempowered. And when we're disempowered, we're not functioning at full capacity. And we can't bring our superpower to the world, and we can't bring our light shining as bright as it possibly can to the world. And we can't be who we really were meant to be and who we came here to be. Because we're all caught up in the pressure and the performing, and I got to be better than this one, and I got to be better than that one. And oh no, they're ahead of me. I got to work faster. I got to do the grind. I got to meet the competition. I'm not going to let that person be better than me, or I'm going to feel terrible and very small. And it's all BS. The external world can't make you feel any way that you don't allow yourself to feel. So instead of giving the external world permission to make you feel a certain way, give yourself permission to step out of that. And give yourself permission to be liberated and free and do what really makes you happy and makes your soul sing. And for those of you worrying about, oh, I'm not going to be able to make money, or I'm not going to be able to do this, or someone won't like you, you're going to find out when you step into your own authentic person and really listen to your soul. And now you are in complete freedom and you're really authentic, that lots of people like you and the people around you are happy. And there's a lot of people around you who actually bring you abundance and you've got nothing to worry about. So that's my little ditty for today, September 8th, 2025. Hope it brings you all to a place of contemplation, expansion, expanding love, expanding joy, abundance. Can't wait to see what the Virgo eclipse brings us on the 21st of September. I'm sure there'll be another video about that. But for today, I'm going to be in flow, planning what I really want to do, making sure my life feels good and there's not very much pressure, except the stuff I give myself permission to feel that's empowering for me. So lead an empowering life. If you want to be part of the Zenkuda community, you can find me on Zenkuda on YouTube, Zenkuda Soul Space on Facebook, and Zenkuda Soul Space Monday nights at 7 o'clock. Also on all podcast platforms, including Spotify and Amazon Alexa. Thank you so much. I am Georgia Rose from Zenkuda.